Hello students, this time we're going to take very tiny numbers, and rewrite those in scientific notation form. Right here I have a number, and we read this as 8 thousandths because this 8 in our place value chart is in the thousandths column. So 8 thousandths written in scientific notation. Going to basically do it the same way I did the large numbers. I'm going to take my whole number here, 8, and put a decimal point behind it. Now I have no other numbers. I could put a 0 there, or I could just leave it like it is. I'm going to put it times 10. And this time, because my decimal point is going to the right, I've got to have a negative, okay? I've got to have a negative exponent. So how many places am I moving this decimal to get it behind that 8? 1, 2, 3. So 8 to the negative 8 times 10 to the negative 3 should give me 8 thousandths. Let's enter it in our calculator. Alright, so I have 8 times 10. I want my exponent, so I use my up arrow. Now I have a negative 3. Here is my negative sign. Negative 3, scroll over, and enter. Oh, I get 1 over 125. Let's hit this arrow right here to turn it into our decimal. This arrow right above the enter will change it between fraction and decimal. There is our 8 thousandths. So we know we have worked this one correctly. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, I have 0, 0, 3, 0, 1. Okay, so I'm going to write my first whole number, put my decimal, and I have to write through the rest of my whole numbers. If I don't have all those whole numbers, I'm not going to have the right amount. It's not going to balance. Now I put it times 10, and because this is a tiny amount, all the numbers are to the right of the decimal point, I have to have that as a negative exponent. Alright, so how many places do I have to move that decimal to get it behind that first whole number? 1, 2, 3, 4. So to the negative 4. Let's check it. Let's see if y'all can see this. Okay, let's put 3 decimal 0, 1 times 10, up arrow, negative 4, scroll over, enter. There we have it. 0, 0, 0, 301. Decimal 0, 0, 0, 301. So we have that one worked correctly. We can also take a number that's written in scientific notation and rewrite that number in standard form. So we can go back and forth with those. So if I take this number right here, 3 decimal 0, 1 times 10 to the negative 4th, and I'm asked to write this number in standard form. Okay, I want to write my whole numbers, 3, 0, 1. Okay, now I know that I have to go 4 places towards the left And that decimal here is after my first whole number. So I'm going to move my decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a decimal point. Fill in with my zeros, and there we go. We have our standard number. Let's do this one right here. We have 8 times 10 to the negative 3. So I will write my 8. Now I have to move that decimal because the decimal's understood behind the 8. 3 places. Since it's negative, I'm going to the left. 1, 2, 3, and put my decimal. Fill in the waves with my zeros there. This and this are the same. So here's my standard way of writing my number, and here's my scientific notation way of writing my number. Here's the standard way of writing this number. Here's the scientific notation way of writing this number. I'll show you how to go back and do the same thing with the big numbers. If I have this number, 9,920,000, if I have this number written in scientific notation, because it's a whole number, I have a positive exponent there. I want to take this scientific notation and write it in standard form. Therefore, I write 992. I have to have 6 places after my first whole number. I already have 2 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. We're right back to where we started. If I have 4,100, I have it written in scientific notation. I want to rewrite it back in standard form again. I write my numbers, and I have to have 3 places after my first whole number. So I already have 1 place, 2 places, 3 places. 1, 2, 3, comma. There we go. Same thing again. Okay, I will give you a worksheet to practice these. This is a good skill to know. Almost every standardized test has at least one of these questions on it. Practice these. They're fun. And I will see you next time.